Hi all and welcome into this iRacing video. In this video I'm going to be helping you out for anyone who's new to iRacing. We're going to be covering everything from what cars and tracks are included, how to download, what on earth is safety rating, iRating, all the different licenses, how championship points work, how the divisions work, what different race series there are and how I can enter, explain seasons and the structures and when they happen and how the races change. I'll explain to you the structure of a race, qualifying practice, etc. The new addition of the AI, which has been a brilliant, exciting addition to iRacing, which is pretty new. So if you're new, that's a good thing to learn. Explain fixed events, the difference between a test drive and a time trial, how to put some paint down on your car to make it look a bit more your own. There will be a full review coming of iRacing, it's in the works, but this video is more intended for someone who's new or on the fence or really wanting to know that a little bit more about iRacing to get them into the community. I've got plenty of how-to videos for more advanced things like how to set up force feedback, field of view, how to really deep dive into car setups, how to take your basic paint job into a complete custom paint job, general tips and tricks and overlays. I will link videos to those advanced subjects down to the description, so don't miss out on them. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, first of all, let's talk about price. iRacing is a subscription service, unlike most other sims they compete against, but personal opinion of mine is I'm happy where they're spending the money. It seems to go to all the new cars, new content, new tracks, bigger promotions. It's an ongoing thing, and let's face it, everything today that's a subscription service is absolutely killing it. You've probably heard of Netflix. Right, let's have a look at the pricing. 1 year, their typical price is $110 a year or $13 a month. Currently, obviously, at the time of filming, they're running a 40% off membership. They also usually have pretty good Black Friday deals. It's the one time of the year where they really do run a big promotion to either get you to renew or to get you to sign up. But mid-year promotions of this sort of amount are quite common. I've seen, obviously, I've only been a new member once. But no, I'm really happy with the pricing model. We'll get into what it's included and prices of the other cars and tracks when we get to that, but just be prepared that this is a subscription service. If you're on the fence and you're looking to only sim race for the next couple of months and not, with university or whatever your situation in life may be, this may or may not be the perfect sim for you. Okay, once you've paid and you've got yourself an iRacing account, they will use the name on your credit debit card to assign you an iRacing name. You can get, if there's someone already in iRacing with your name, you get a number appended to the end of your name. It's exactly what happened to me. So if you chuck them an email and let them know, you're give them a middle name or initial, or I'm David. I could have been shortened to Dave, for example. They're pretty flexible as long as it's a legal standing name. They're not going to let you have a nickname or an alias. Okay, once you've got the account and you're all paid, you want to log yourself into members.iracing.com. This is where you're going to do a lot of the bulk of stuff with iRacing. Now, they do have their beta software that's new that I actually use, but you still find a lot of people prefer the website to use thing. But you're going to want to come here to download the software. You're going to want to click Race, download the software. Here we go, Windows obviously. And that'll download an executable. It's pretty simple to install. There's not much point in walking you through it. It's a typical Windows installation. Once you're up and running, log in with your iRacing credentials. Now, one quick shameless plug. If while you sign up for iRacing, you want to give back to my channel, then there's a referral link in my description, my email address as well. They'll ask you if anyone referred you. It would be great if you could use mine. It really helps me buy new content, new tracks, so I can do more race with them. Okay, end of plug. Thank you very much. Right, once the software is downloaded and installed, let's fire up the beta software. Okay, here we are in the beta software. Now, as I explained in the intro, I have a full review of this beta software, explaining every menu, how to use it, how to deep dive and get the most out of it. So go ahead and watch that. In this video, I'm just going to more cover everything you need to know as a new iRacer. So if there's anything I jump over or you don't understand, link them in the description for that video. Check it out. Okay, so this is the beta software. Much like the member area website was just using, you can either use that or this to join races, look at the cars you've got, look at results, study replays, basically the general gumph of what you're going to need to do with iRacing. I'm a beta user. It's been out now for several months. It's been running really solid, and they're pushing updates to it all the time. Everyone I mention this to usually start using it and never go back to the website, but either works. Either's fine. I want to bring you in here first of all because we're going to look first of all at what's included. I have to admit, when I was coming into iRacing and I was looking around, I did get a bit confused what cars, tracks, series, because it is quite a steep learning curve, put it that way. Okay, we navigate to my content, and I've filtered, because I obviously own some cars and tracks, I've filtered down by just using their favourite system, all the cars that come as default. So here on the screen, every car you're going to get included with your iRacing subscription. Some standout cars, obviously you've got an Indy car, the street stock in the both normal and dirt variant, great car. The car you're probably going to get used to the most if you're a road racer, the MX-5. The rookie races are, it's a steep learning curve. You've got the spec Ford racer, the Radical, great car. You've got plenty of archived cars, cars that aren't used in active series right now, but obviously you still get access to them. It's a good mix of oval, you can filter by the different type, road, oval, dirt oval, prototypes. It's a fine bunch to start with. You're going to find yourself probably using the Mazda on the road side or the street stock on the oval side, but hey, who can I judge you? You know, we all have our own career progression, but I just wanted to outline all the cars that you're going to have out of the box. And tracks, make sure that's filtered down. Sorry. There you go. So we get some standouts there. The Charlotte Motor Speedway, a brilliant track. Lime Rock Park, absolutely love that track. Summit Point, fantastic track. If you've seen Lime Rock twice, when they rescan a track, they usually archive it. And in that way, for example, Silverstone, is that here? Yeah, this was a paid circuit. When they remodeled the new version, they give you the archive one away for free. So there are some races here, but it's not as popular as the new Silverstone. Laguna Seca, obviously I'm a road racer, so I'm always going to be telling you good standout road courses. Tsukuba, another brilliant circuit. I'm actually a fan of Okayama as well. But some really good circuits, and I say in the Mazda races, you'll be racing at a mix of all the free tracks. We'll get into that in a moment, explaining the different race series and how all that works. But it's a good bunch. Now, purchasing cars and buying cars, let's get into that now. Right, so the cars you're seeing, you can see these are labelled My Cars. You want to buy more cars? You click here. Now, I would love to go through every car that's available to buy. That was just road. All. Let me just check it was on all for here as well. It was, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, obviously you've got the LMP1 prototypes, you've got GTEs, you've got GT3s, you've got the Porsche Cup car, the Pro Mazda, the supercars, very new addition to iRacing. You've got the BMW M8 GTE, that's another new addition. Lots of cars to pick from. Now, the iRacing website, iRacing.com, there's actually a list of cars you can go through, all available for purchase. Fixed price is $11.95 a car. Expensive? It depends how you use iRacing. Do I suggest going and just buying 12 cars because you enjoy driving around and having fun? Then, maybe a different sim might be the choice. If you want to buy it, I find for $11.95 to run a 13-week series, getting the most out of the car, using it in and out, day after day, then I do think it's a fantastic price. Obviously, I was a bit taken aback when I first saw this. Coming from other sims where I'm used to having such a choice of cars and mix and matching every day, but iRacing's more about the commitment to a car, to a series, making sure your participations are met, and so I'm just trying to, I'm not trying to justify the price or anything. I'm just trying to explain my mindset and how I find it. So the cars are $11.95. The tracks are $14.95. There are some variations, but a typical track that you're looking to buy in an active series, I think every single one I've bought has been the $14.95. Tracks are laser scanned, very high quality. They get updates often if there's a problem. where the off-track markers are, sausage curbs updates, the physics. It's a very ongoing thing with iRacing. I just want you to be aware of that. Because it's not a one-time purchase, they're very committed to try and keeping you as a customer. So bear that in mind. It's a good thing. Okay, now let's talk about iRating, safety rating, and your license class. Now this is a big subject on its own, but I'll try and cover it in the best way I can. Let's have a look. And let's go to my road license here. Let me zoom that in for you. Okay, so I'm a Class B with 3.33 safety, and my iRating is 1,625. I really wanted it to be 700, but I didn't manage to get it in time. Okay, so what do these mean? Licenses first. You start as a rookie, and you progress rookie, Class D, Class C, Class B, Class A, and then the pros are for a different video entirely. Okay, so rookie's mandatory. That's where you start. And it's just about proving yourself. Your best bet isn't to analyze all the math of a rookie. It's to turn up, participate, stay clean, finish all your races, don't rage quit. Performance, sure. Practice, make sure you do plenty of practice in a test drive in a situation to get yourself accustomed with whatever track you're working on. You see too many people diving in, getting iRacing, doing one lap of the car and jumping in. There's a definite learning curve. Make sure you're a fay with doing long runs, the qualifying. It's tough mentally. Look, I still struggle now with managing it all. I speak to lots of people in my Discord about managing expectations. Getting out of the rookies can be tough, but you will get through it. You've just got to keep your head down, turn up, keep it clean, bring the car home. Okay, that's don't overdrive the car. If you qualified 5th, you're probably the 5th fastest car. Think about it that way. You don't have to dive bomb 4th place, follow him. It's rookies. They might make a mistake. You pick up positions that way. I'm not saying don't try. I'm just saying manage your expectations well. It's tough in the rookies. You will get through it. Okay, once you get out of the rookies, once your safety rating reaches, believe it's a 4, you get promoted to Class D. Now, these classes, what they're for is getting you into different race events. So let's come back to this software. Excuse the jumping around, just give me a moment. I just want to filter down, for example, some of my series. Sort of this by license. As you can see, some of my favourite series that I jump in on a frequent basis, you can see this license. This is the requirement to drive. So where I started in the Mazda racing series is a rookie. Got some D-class events here, being the BMW, the Skip, and the F3. They're Class D. Got some Class C events here, where the Porsche Cup, IMSA, fantastic that is, a more professional F3 series, and likewise with the Mazda, a big step up. And then ILMS, the iRacing Le Mans series, hugely popular in iRacing, is a Class B. So that's the main reason for a license. Don't get it for vanity, get it for sanity. If you need to take part in if you want to take part in something, push as best you can, try and close it out, but don't rush. There is no point getting your A license or B license within a couple of weeks. Enjoy it. Focus on finishing all the stuff I'm going to repeat, bringing the car home, keeping it clean, progressing forward naturally. You know, you're going to be better in 5-6 weeks, not just your license. I mean, some people get it for vanity, and I understand. It's nice saying you're an A class. I'm hoping I get my A class at the end of this season, so I get it. I'm not stupid. But don't do it just for that reason. Is what I'm trying to lean on. Okay, so now we know the license is applicable to what series we want to run. Let's look at the iRating. iRating is quite literally a number to show how good you are. There's no prettier way of saying it, unfortunately. You can see my iRating taking a roller coaster ride. I've been on iRacing now since August. So yeah, when you turn up to a race, there's going to be a bunch of guys with all different iRating. You'll be assigned a car number based on your strength in that race. and sorry, you'll be broken into splits as well. So let's say there's 100 of you, and there's 25 cars per race. They'll take the top 25, put them in split 1, the next 25 put them in split 2, and so on and so forth. So if, for example, you're in the bottom split, you're new to a race series with quite a low iRating, you'll be put in split 4, and you'll be around people with similar iRatings to you. The guys with higher iRating than you will be given a lower car number, for example, maybe 1 through 7. Let's say you get given number 8 car, and the people behind you all the way filled down to 25. And now you're going to compete with them. And now your iRating, now there's more to it than what I'm saying. There's a formula that iRacing uses, but there's no point analysing that because you shouldn't be focusing on that. You want to outscore your car number. That's the general rule. You can gain iRating scoring below your car number based on how people around you finish. If you beat the number 1 car, anyway. You want to try and aim to beat your car number, or at least bring your car number home. You'll find a lot of the times in qualifying they've got it spot on. You'll be the 6th car and you'll qualify 6th. It's impressive. It doesn't always happen, but you do notice it when they get it spot on. So what happens if you get hit and knocked out of a race and you're the 2 car? Yes, you will lose a lot of iRating. It's painful, and that's probably the biggest pain point people have because it hurts because you've put all that effort in. Someone hits you, your car's broke, you pit, you come back out, you was running really well, but now you've got a damaged car, you're 2 laps down. Obviously, do not just quit the session. This is a race. On the white flag, on the last lap, 4 cars might crash, all of them requiring a tow, and you take those on the last lap. So never just quit. Keep it in, keep your foot in, get the laps done, bring it home. I can assure you, this is racing. If bad things can happen to you, bad things can happen to everyone. So keep that in mind, please. So yes, this is why iRacing fluctuation is so bad. So my different dips and troughs here are either new equipment, new pedals, things I've changed with my driving style, triple monitors. You go through it all, and nobody's perfect. And try as you might, it gets hard. And the better you get, the better people you race against. And the better people you race against, the closer the race. It's a never-ending spiral. My iRating probably would be a little better if I focused more on 1 car, but I usually run 3 a season. But anyway, that's iRating. It's of the 3 factors, the one I will let you be vain on. It's because it literally is a number on how good you are. Now, it's not always a good reflection because you might be good in 1 car and not in another, and another car might be dragging your overall iRating down. So yes. Let's talk about safety rating now. This is this number. So mine's sitting at 3.33. So safety rating is an assessment of your general incidents in a race. Incidents ranging from an off-track would be 1. Soft contact or losing control of the car will be 2 points against you. Hitting a car heavy or hitting a wall hard will be 4 points against you. They accumulate over a race. So let's say in that argument, that number 8 car race you're in, let's say it's a D-class event and the limit is put on 17 for that given race, i.e. 17 points and you're out of the race, disqualified. It's happened to me once. It's a painful thing to live through, but it happens, so just bear with it. So the start of the race, you have a knock at the beginning with another car, pick up a 4x incident point, so if you're on 4 of 17. And then maybe you have 2 off tracks during the race, you're up to 6. Now, safety rating science is a little bit more difficult to calculate than iRacing because it has a trend on your incidents on previous races. I'm not really sure, but basically keep it under 30-40% of the max track. I mean, you want to keep it at 0. If you can pick a number, bring the car home clean, don't have any off tracks. Difficult to do. But for example, on a 17, you on a 5 incident point, you might gain a little bit. You're going to break even, that sort of range. 8, 9, and you're going to start looking at having safety rating reduction. Getting your safety rating reduced. So safety rating is shared in the sense that if somebody hits you from behind and it was no fault of your own, you both get a 4x. And new people find this difficult to understand. And it's difficult to explain, but let me try and explain perhaps my thoughts behind the decision they made to do this. Obviously, for one, they don't have enough people working at iRacing to watch every race and judge who's at fault. So the general consensus to think about is being caught up in racing incidents. So it's balanced. Sure, it's unfair when you're hit, but you won't think that when you hit somebody else. So it balances itself out. The general consensus is try to avoid racing incidents. That's the aim. If there's a yellow flagged wave, 90% of all drivers keep their foot in. They're just hoping they can use their steering to avoid it. Once you've been racing for a couple of months, you realise this is probably a stupid technique. Yellow flags warning you that there could be two cars completely sideways blocking the bend you're about to exit on. You can't see them. So trying not to just get caught up in other people's mess. Have better driver awareness. The guy behind you is driving like a fool. He looks like he's going to dive down T1, but you've got the line. Should you move to the left and let him dive bomb and you stay out the way? It's your call, but you get what I'm trying to say. It will help you be a better driver. At the beginning of my career, when I was doing the rookie, people would hit me from behind, take me out the race, ruin my iRating, and take a big knock to my safety rating. You can imagine it was quite a lot to take, and once you're talking to a lot of people, it's shared, but they're doing it for a reason. Okay, safety rating and the implications. So 3, anything above it, let's work through this. 4, a safety rating of 4 would be an instant promotion to the license class above. 3 would be a promotion at the end of your 13-week season. We'll get into that in a moment. So a 3 at the end of a season would see you promoted. Anything between 2 and 3, at the end of the season, nothing happens. The end of the season with a 2, less than a 2, and you'll be demoted. And I've never had this happen, so I think anything less than a 1, and I believe is an instant demotion. Apologies if I'm wrong. It's never happened to me, so I believe that's what I read. So safety rating is an important factor. It can ruin your license. So, for example, I'm a Class B, and let's say I want to take part in ILMS next season. If I was to get caught up in too many incidents, I could have the license taken away from me, and then I won't be allowed to compete in ILMS, the iRacing Le Mans series. So it's a very important thing to try and manage well. It's the reason iRacing is the best online sim there is, because people care about their safety ratings. So when you jump into a room of 18 like-minded, fast people, they've all got the same mindset. They quite like the license they're on. So psychologically wise, it's good. Right, when I talk about promotion, there's another thing you need to keep into consideration. It's called MPR. So as you can see, I am, for my road, this road's really the only thing I focus on. I've completed my MPR, so if my safety rating stays above 3, I'm ready for promotion to my A at the end of the season, which I'm excited about. Okay, so MPR, let's use one of these, for example. In Oval, I'm a Class D. If I compete in 4 races or 4 official time trials, now official time trials will actually affect your safety rating. If you hit a wall or getting off track, they will actually impact you even though you're going around on your own. So the time trials, they'll set you a guide, let's say 7 laps, and then jump out the car. And if you complete the 7 laps, you'll be possibly awarded some safety rating. Not a lot, it's not worth spending all day doing to get safety rating. But if you compete 4 of them, or 4 races, which I'd always recommend, and your safety rating's above 3, then you're ready for promotion. Now, one thing to bear in mind, everything I've been saying, everything I explained from license to safety rating to iRating is applicable based on the type of racing you're doing. Oval, as you can see, I'm a D with 3.3, iRating 13. I don't do these. I think I did one once. So if you do an oval race and you get caught up in a nightmare, it's not going to affect your road license, which is brilliant. So MPR, if you hear it mentioned, your requirements to do certain things and have a certain safety rating ready for a promotion. So as you can see, at the moment I'm sitting ready for my A license at the end of the season. So yes, very excited about that. So I keep mentioning the word season. Let's get into that next. A season is, let's look down here so you can see, right? So as you can see, I'm due some participation money. We'll get into that as well in a minute. God, there's a lot with iRacing. So for example, the BMW 12.0 challenge. It's a race series, okay? It has a schedule of tracks. Let's jump into here, here, schedule. Sorry if I'm jumping around. I say there's a review of the beta software. So it's a 12-week series. Once a week, the track changes. Here's the schedule. So you can see I've completed all 12. Next week is week 13. It's a 13-week series, but only 12 official races. And the last race is last week is a crazy week. They mess things around. They do reverse orders. They race crazy cars against crazy cars. It's just a time for people like me to relax, chill out, and do some races that don't affect your iRating or safety rating. It's a unique week. It's the end of the series. It's when people let off some steam and have some fun. So, 12-week series. The requirement for race participation and points is 8 weeks. So it'll take your 8 best performances. So as you can see, for example, I've competed 8 of 8 BMW, 8 of 8 F3, and 8 of 8 Skip Barber. Now, while we're here and using this as an example, I might as well explain. Race participation is a way of earning money to buy new cars and tracks at the end of the series by competing in certain events. So if you see a series through to the end, D through C will pay you 4 per series. B through A will pay you 7. Yep. But the most you can earn is 10 anyway. And I think that's sort of 13 weeks, 10 each. But the most you can earn per calendar year is 40, I believe. So yes, a series isn't anything you have to sign up to. You could turn up to just the last 8 races, or you could do 4 at the beginning of the series and 4 near the end. And it's to encourage you to focus on championship points, which we're going to get into. We may as well do now. Okay, so championship points. Each series, you get assigned championship points. As I say, you don't really... I got confused when I first got this. I was wondering where you sign up for the championship or sign up. It's just compete. As soon as you compete in your first race, you're put in the championship and you'll be given a division number. I know, iRacing's confusing. One sec. So let's use Skip Barber as my example. So I'm in Division 4. Let's see where I'm at in Division 4. Uh, 121st out of 1,957 in my Division 4. There's 10 divisions. Rookie doesn't have divisions, championship points, or race participation. If you compete in the Mazda Global MX-5 Cup all season long, they're not going to pay you for it. Just heads up. Okay, so my championship points here, 552. And at the end of the series, a winner's awarded. I've completed 330 laps. I've taken part in 20 races this season. So championship points is really just a fun way of seeing how you're doing compared to other like-minded iRacers who's competing in the same event for you. There's no prize at the end. It's just fun to do, to take part in. This is how it's outputted. If you've got friends, you can line yourself up and see how they've done against you. It's just a fun thing. So every race series has it, but as far as what it doesn't really do anything. You score the championship-based points, much like how your iRating is calculated. I don't really know how championship points are calculated, but for example, let's say you was in you had an iRating of, let's say, 1,500, and you was in a race where the average, which we call SOF, strength of field, was 2,000. So 500 above your mean. If you was to finish third, for example, you might be given 130 championship points based on the fact of how far up you finished against the average iRating. So think of it like that. Now, race series are broken into divisions. I believe you always start in Division 5. And if you do poor in all your divisions, you'll drop down to 6. Whereas last season I did quite well in my MX-5 and F3. I think F3 I came 26th in my division. So I got promoted to Division 4. So I believe how the championship points are calculated, when you do a race, you won't always just be against Division 4 drivers. You probably will because of your iRating and how good they are. But I've competed with Division 1 drivers and Division 3. I think they balance it out and work out your championship points. And at the end of the race, if you come into your stats, you can see your championship points. Okay, enough of that. Let's talk about seasons. We've talked about 12 weeks, how the divisions work. You understand that. You can filter. The structure of a race. When you turn up to a race, your average race from rookie all the way up will be, for example, a 3-minute practice session. then 8 minutes for quali. And the usual drill is an out lap, 2 hot laps, and then you're back in and that's it. So any off tracks will ruin your applicable hot lap. So on lap 1, you're doing well, second to last bend, you touch the grass and you get an off track warning at the top. That's going to ruin your race. Touch a wall, that's going to ruin your race. Anything that incurs an instant point in qualifying will delete that lap. So lap 1 a banker, lap 2 go quick. You know, however you want to structure it, that's how I do it. But it doesn't always work if you watch my videos. I'm not the best qualifier there is. Do whatever works for you, but try and set a time. Once qualifier's decided, you'll be given a time limit to grid up, and away we go. Races will either be a standing start or a rolling start. Make sure you check before the race, but you'll tell usually because of the safety car in front of you and how the lights are structured. And if you're running something like crew chief, he'll let you know what's happening. Okay, the difference between a test drive and a time trial. So, for example, if we jump into BMW. So just to give you a quick overview, you can see races that are on and practice sessions that are on, and you can register for them. So it's that easy. Practice sessions incur no incident points or anything like safety rating. Obviously, don't drive like an idiot. You can be protested. Protested is where you're breaking the rules, and a driver submits to iRacing the evidence that you're driving, not within the rules, and you could lose your access to your iRacing account for a week or so. I've never had it happen to me, so don't drive like an idiot. Okay, if you come down here, time trial, test drive, pretty much the same thing. However, test drive, it's just you. There are no rules. Do what you like. Yeah, you can decide the temperature, everything. That is your one time to practice the track your own way. The big difference between that and, say, an official practice session is accurate track temperatures and weather. You could be practicing at 22 Fahrenheit track temp, and you jump into the actual official race and it's 34 track temperature, and you're going to notice why you should have done some practice in an official session. Time trial, as we explained earlier, it's a way of fulfilling NPR or picking up a little bit of safety rating, but you've got to make sure you know what you're doing, because otherwise you can also lose safety rating there. It's not a freebie. Right, let's show you quickly how to colour a car. Now, I have done a video, link in the description, for a more advanced car, complete skin. I did a very basic video overlay, how you would do that. But this is more just how to paint a car. So as you can see, I've painted quite a few. If we head over to the paint shop, and for example, let's ruin the, what should we paint? The Dallara IndyCar. So first of all, you can pick a sort of a skin template. So if you quite like shark fins in the back, you can swap these colours around. You can change the colours. Pretty simple. There you go. I've ruined that car for you. A shade of pink, and I think we're done. You can choose the font for your number. You can choose a preferred number, but it will only be given to you in an official practice session if it's not already taken. You can pick some sponsors. So let's go with Fanatec. That's pretty good. And you could pick Logitech. There you go, and you've sorted yourself a car. Hit done. When you jump into a race, this car, as ugly as it is, will now be yours. If you want to do you completely using Photoshop or GIMP or something like that, your own design, as I say, link in the description, you can check that out. Now, as I have mentioned, I am going to be doing a full review of iRacing that is going to cover an in-depth everything and my thoughts, but I'm just trying to get this done to help explain for new guys how to get through this. There's also AI. So the AI racing is very new to iRacing. Basically, you can pick, well, other sims do this a lot. This is just very new to iRacing. These tracks are available for running AIs on. It's only limited at the moment, not all tracks, not all cars. Cars are even more limited. There you go. So we've got the 3 NASCAR Cup cars. We've got the Mazda, which is a great car to practice AI. I mean, I wish that was around when I joined iRacing rather than jumping in just official races all the time. The Porsche 911 Cup car, fantastic car, and the Skip Barber. So this is great for building up a bit of racecraft, driving with the AI. You can change the AI's difficulty. Once again, if you check out the beta software review, I show you all about the AI software. Okay, on the race calendar, another thing I wanted to mention is this, the fixed events and the non-fixed. Okay, so let's filter down by mine. So for example, the BMW event I take in is fixed, i.e. the only thing you can change is the brake bias, whereas my Skippy event is not, where now I have to pick 6 or 7 variables on the car to customize to my liking, the spring perch offset, the lots of things. Whereas, for example, with IMSA, in the GTEs or the GT3s, there must be 80 settings. Now, this is the other side of iRacing that comes with time or paying for a setup. So I'd recommend the fixed for anyone new, because then at least you know driver v driver who the best is. You can work that way. Whereas a non-fixed event is something I would work up to. Skip is probably the best place to start because only 5 odd parameters, and I've got a skip video in the. I'll put a skip video in the description. I talk you through all the different settings and how to get the most out of your skip car. But that's a really good learning curve to make changes in the car and go out and test them. Whereas, for example, an IMSA car is a big. If you have no idea what you're doing, it would be mind blowing, and you're not going to have a great feeling when you're heading out and guys are able to do things that just don't seem possible with your car and how it's set up. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that someone new should know. We've covered how to download it, what cars and tracks are included, safety rating, iRating, your license, the structure of a race, the AI, time trials, custom paints. I think you're going to be good. Keep it clean, bring the car home. Don't let all the psychology of it all get to you. It is a lot. It is tough. It's tough out there. You're going to have a stage in your career where you're going to have 5 bad races in a row. It's looking like your license is going to be taken away. People will be complaining about you in chat after. Just keep your head down and you'll get through it. It's worth it. I promise you. You'll come out the other end a more confident driver. But yes. Okay, if you like this video, like. If you are about to join iRacing, I'd love it if you could use my referral email. As I say, it helps me out and helps me buy all these tracks and cars and gets me races I record on YouTube done. But yeah, if you want to subscribe, guys. Thank you very much. And the support, once again, it's insane. I am every day in awe of all your support in Discord and the comments, the likes, all my Patreon members that you're going to see at this end of this video. All of this has been happening so quickly, and I am eternally grateful. So thank you very much. Okay, any questions down in the comments, I will reply. If you want to talk to me more in depth, jump in my Discord. But other than that, guys, thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.